Hello everyone. So this video is in continuation of the last video which was about inverting amplifier, and this is about non-inverting amplifier. So the schematic is exactly same with two supplies VDD and VSS, the current mirror circuit which is replicating the current of 100 microampere to M6 and M8. M6 and M8, like in previous case, are having the same aspect ratio as that of M7. That is, the W by L for M7, M6, M8 and M3 is all same. The widths of M4 and M5, like in previous case, is half the width of M6, and similarly M1 and M2 are also having half the width of M6, because these branches will be supporting 50 microampere of current, while this one and this one will be supporting the current of 100 microampere. So let us see the configuration of a non-inverting amplifier. So the input is being applied at the non-inverting terminal, while the feedback is available from the output node to an inverting node, and then there is another resistor which is connected to ground with the gain equal to 1 plus R1 by R2. That is 1 plus feedback resistance divided by the resistance which is connected to ground. So here I have connected my output node to the inverting terminal, and the feedback resistance is having the value of 9K, and the another resistance which must be connected to ground because it is a non-inverting amplifier is of 1 kilo. So what must be the gain here? It is 1 plus feedback resistance divided by this resistance. So 1 plus 9 by 1, which is equal to 10. So the gain here must be 10. And the input we have directly connected a sinusoid of 10 millivolt and a frequency of 10 kilohertz at this terminal, which we earlier identified as non-inverting. So this terminal is inverting and this terminal is non-inverting. Logic we have already seen in the last video. Again, we have a compensation capacitance 1 picofarad and the load capacitance of 10 picofarad. So let us simulate this for transient analysis. So I go for transient. Again, I select time to be 0.5 millisecond so that I have 5 complete cycles of my input. So now I select the input, and I can see that it is a sinusoid of peak to peak 20 millivolt. And now the output signal. So the output is from 100 millivolt to nearly minus 100 millivolt. Therefore, the gain is 10 here, as verified theoretically. Also, the output is in phase with input. Hence, the configuration of the amplifier is non-inverting. We are not having any 180 degree out of phase here. So this is transient analysis of op-amp. Now let us do AC analysis to obtain Bode plot. So I again go to this AC source which was available as input, right click, select it as none, AC amplitude again we select it as 1 so that output itself represents gain of the amplifier. So here we are having AC1. Now I go to simulate, edit simulation command, AC analysis, decade, number of points I again choose them to be 100, start frequency again 1 Hertz, stop frequency 100 MEG, that is 100 megahertz. Okay, I place it here and then I run it. So I again select output, and this is my Bode plot. So the gain is 10, so 20 log 10 is 20 dB again, and the dark line represents magnitude plot, the dotted line represents phase plot. So the phase is essentially going from 0 degree to minus 240 degree. That is, there are 3 internal poles to the system. So like in previous case, we can also identify the upper cutoff frequency. There will be no lower cutoff frequency because op-amp is a direct coupled amplifier. So I again select it to be 17. This is nearly 17 and 2.39 megahertz. This is my upper cutoff frequency. So this is AC analysis of non-inverting amplifier. Now let us see a simple configuration of voltage follower. So again, I am having the same schematic, that is a differential amplifier, there is a common source amplifier, but here instead of connecting the feedback through the feedback resistance, I have directly connected the output node to an inverting node, and input I am applying to non-inverting node. So this represents basically the voltage follower configuration, where input is applied to non-inverting terminal and the inverting terminal is simply connected to output node. So this is what we have done here. Therefore, the output must be exactly equal to input. So let us investigate that. I run this and let us select the input. And now let us select the output. So you can see that the output is exactly overlapping the input. So this is output and this is, this is output and this is input. So output is exactly equal to input as expected in voltage follower configuration. Now let us see what happens if I just simply cut off this feedback path and I connect inverting terminal to ground. So what I do is select this scissor symbol and I cut out this connection. So now there is no feedback. There is no feedback from output to input. Hence, this is an open loop op-amp. So we expect an open loop op-amp to be saturated even for small values of input. So this must act like a comparator. So I am having input as a sinusoid, and being saturated, the output we must be getting should be a square wave. So let us run it. I select input. So this is my input, and now let us go for output. So as you can see, the output is very large, almost approaching 1.8 volt, and is a pulse shaped signal because op-amp is saturated, being in open loop condition. So this was all about it. We studied or we looked at the simulation of op-amp non-inverting configuration followed by voltage follower configuration and an open loop case of op-amp with the transient analysis and AC analysis part. Thank you.